Welcome to Informed Sources on News Channel 3, where we talk about the week's big stories with local voices. I'm your host, Greg Hurst. Thanks for joining us. In a moment, I'll introduce our panel, but first, here are tonight's hot topics. Dr. Marie Fagans not going out without a fight. Just weeks after her termination, the former superintendent of Memphis Shelby County Schools is suing the district. Our panel will explore the case against the district, and we'll talk about a possible takeover by the state. Also, protesters hit the streets in Tennessee as the state introduces new laws supporting the president's deportation efforts, and it looks like lawmakers may not be done yet. We'll take a look at how the legislation is impacting the Mid-South. Plus, the city of Memphis taking a stand on guns and many other things, how decisions made over the last few days could affect the city's future and its relationship with the state. But before we begin tonight's discussion, let's introduce our panel. I am joined by two longtime public servants, Patrice Robinson and Frank Colvett, both former members of the Memphis City Council.
Thank you for inviting us.
Good to see you both.
Yes.
You've been keeping busy since you've been off the council?
Of course. I don't have a free day.
It sounds like the way you were working before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more challenging.
Well, we're looking forward to your political insight, so thank you both for being here. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, let's begin now with the latest controversy surrounding the Memphis Shelby County School Board. On Monday, former Superintendent Dr. Marie Fagans filed a lawsuit against the board alleging members violated state law by meeting in private to talk about her termination before the final vote. School board member Michelle McKissick, who wanted to keep Fagans and voted against the firing, addressed the allegations directly, denying any wrongdoing.
I did not participate in any meetings that may have taken place in secret, behind closed doors, off campus. Anything that I have had to say since this whole process began over 6 weeks ago, I said it publicly to the public.
In a statement, the school board says, while we respect Dr. Fagans' right to pursue legal action, the board remains focused on our duty to serve the students, families, and staff of MSCS. So, Patrice, let's start with you. Your district, your former district, however you want to phrase it, do people there agree with that's what the school board is doing?
So I will say it like this. I was on the school board, and I have been the president of the school board twice. School board members don't intentionally come together without letting the public know that we're having conversations. I'm here having a conversation with you today, and I'm sure they had conversations with other people in the community. But I don't know how you'd figure that they would come together as a special group and have a meeting. She may know something, the superintendent, prior superintendent, that we don't know or not aware of, but I have never known that to happen in my 21 years in political office.
Frank, what chance do you give Fagans of winning this lawsuit?
Well, not being a lawyer, but knowing that school boards and municipalities tend to settle lawsuits, and primarily, I think, because through the discovery process, when the council, the Fagans Council, can ask all kinds of questions, but most importantly, subpoena phone records, texts, emails, personal emails, computers, and they can find out pretty fast if opinions were shared, because under the Sunshine Law, there's nothing wrong with our having a conversation, but it's when somebody says, I think we should fire the superintendent, and somebody else says yes, then you start getting into that area where they could have a lot of trouble. So I think it's yet to be seen, but that discovery process, I think, is where everybody, if they've done anything wrong, needs to be very nervous.
You know, she didn't ask for any financial damages per se. She did ask about court fees and attorney's fees. In this day of pain and suffering, does that surprise you?
Yes, it does. But I'm sure that she's probably after whatever's in her contract. I think they have some statement in there how much you get if you're not let go, or we relieve you of your duties without having some form of real action, something that she may have done so that they can just outright let her go. Thinking that she may want some kind of parachute to get out of there, and she has every right to want to do that because she has given of herself to our district. I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong, but she has the opportunity here to say that I am due something. You all need to give me something.
And Frank alluded to this. He was saying that, you know, he was talking about the Open Meeting Act, I guess is what Dr. Fagans was talking about. You two were subject to that on the city council. What does that mean, first of all, and how does it apply in this case?
Well, if two council members get together, for example, at the Super Bowl, and they're talking about the game, that's not an open meetings, a sunshine rule. But it's the moment council members or people of the same legislative body
Start talking about official business?
Yes.
and start giving opinions and agreeing and back and forth.
Is that the way you read it as well?
I read it the exact same way.
But you don't think the board did this?
No. I think they did contact other people in the community and ask for opinions. I do believe that they did that, and they rightfully should do so because they represent the public.
Hey, Nixon taught us text, you know, with recordings. In this day and age, texts and emails tell a story. I think we'll find out.
In this particular case, the suit calls for the termination vote to be voided. Does that mean that Marie Fagans would get her job back if the courts agree?
I'm sure once that all goes through the process, then they'll work through that question. She may not want the job back at that point, but I think as Council Lady was sharing with us, I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth as the case comes to light and facts and details come to light.
I'd just like to make one comment about that. The school board is there. It's the umbrella over the district. And I watched Dr. Fagans, her approach to that was that she was over the school district rather than the board. One of their jobs is to hire and fire the superintendent. They stay within their rights. Now, that may cost them a little something, but they should always be for the best interest, not just of our children, but of our whole school district.
Let's talk about the state for a second, because the state says they may want to jump in here and take over the district. If Fagans wins her case, does that strengthen the state's case for a takeover?
Potentially. Remember that state law trumps local, and the state can intervene anytime they want. And apparently Representative White is bringing forth his bill to do that, to put, I think it's an advisory board that will oversee the school board for 2 years. I think in all these cases, these things are healthy. As we're seeing with the federal government, things have been put in place in different organizations and different branches of government that have gone on sometimes for years and years, if not decades, and they've been allowed to run amok. Having another group come in to potentially examine all the expenses, all the subscriptions, all the different things, I think that's a good idea and healthy for any group.
On the other hand, if the board ends up winning this case, does that let them say, you know, we've been proven right, we made the correct decision, we don't need your help?
So let me say it this way. Our children and our community deserve better. And I believe that when we keep doing what we have done in the past with not allowing people to continue to serve, and those people who have served our community well, what happens, we had a board that hired Dr. Fagans. Now we have a new board that's having to work with her, and that's not working out. And they have to have an opportunity to say, this is who I want to work with and this is who I don't want to work with. Back to the state. The state came in and took over our lowest performing school districts, and that was the Achievement School District.
It didn't work out too well.
It didn't work out too well. I don't think they want to come in here and take over our school district. They could even do that part. But I do believe if they can't get them to work together, they do need to bring another body in to help them get back on track.
All right. There's a lot of meat left on that bone, but there's still a lot more for us to talk about as well. When we come back, the debate over immigration and the steps local lawmakers are taking to support President Trump's mass deportation plan. The far-reaching implications for schools and families right here in Memphis. Coming up next on Informed Sources.